In our world lead today, Canadians want the shot. As vaccine demand starts to lag in the United States, demand is far outpacing supply for our northern neighbors. Almost half of Americans have gotten at least one dose. Compare that to just over 1 in 3 Canadians. So, American officials have now agreed to start sharing the wealth. It's not just a gesture of goodwill, we should note. Governors in northern states want to get that Canadian border opened as soon as possible. North Dakota has already started vaccinating Canadian truck drivers, and Alaska's governor shared that state's extra doses with a small neighboring Canadian town. CNN's Paula Newton finds out why some Canadians are calling efforts to get vaccinated, quote, the Hunger Games.
Canadians have been primed and ready to get their shots for months, lining up, signing up, in what has been described as the vaccine Hunger Games. From Toronto to the West Coast, doses have been scarce until now. The vaccine euphoria here is far from over.
We'll be safer. Yeah, really happy.
Demand still far outstrips supply, but Canada is catching up.
The sooner we can all get a poke, the better.
I trust the medicine, and I'm excited to be vaccinated.
Demand has been great. It's actually been overwhelming.
Anthony DeMonte runs Ottawa's rollout, and like many cities, they've seen little hesitancy, confident they can get more than 80% of eligible residents vaccinated.
We could certainly get that done in weeks. If we had unlimited supply, we'd run these things 24 hours a day. We'd get into our neighborhoods. So it really is supply that's been hindering, but now we're seeing in positive efforts that supply is coming.
The Canadian government promises by the end of summer it will have enough doses for the entire country. But it's the pace of the rollout in the last few weeks that has been encouraging. More than a third of those eligible now have at least one shot. That effort got a boost this week when Canada became one of the first countries to authorize the Pfizer vaccine for kids between 12 and 15. And officials say they see no sign that demand for the vaccine will slow, especially now that a painful third wave of the pandemic is taking hold in many parts of the country. Critical care admissions remain at record levels and are increasing in some provinces, especially in the country's hotspots, like this one in Ottawa, where getting those last doses into arms will be more challenging. A city councillor here tells me he's encouraged by the grassroots efforts already working to reach racialized, disadvantaged communities.
All levels of government are committed here in Canada to ensure that we address this challenge. And I think that that's unprecedented.
There's no hard sell here. A little humor instead from Ottawa Public Health's prolific Twitter handle, even a cameo from Vancouver-born actor Ryan Reynolds, posing as the public health intern.
We all can do.
Officials say that's what it will take to go the last mile to deliver that last dose.
It requires on the ground work, door knocking, to make sure that people are aware.
So, Jake, I just updated here. We could be in record-setting territory for daily shots in arms today. If this pace keeps up, we're going to catch up to the United States by June. Fully vaccinated everyone, perhaps sometime in summer. And it's important to note here, in Canada, if you look at polls, hesitancy is about pretty much half of what it is in the United States, and that's why that 80% figure really is something officials are aiming for. Jake, before I let you go, I have to point out, look, I'm in lockdown here. A lot of cities in Canada are locked down. Think about Toronto now, in lockdown, some form of it, for nearly 6 months. That goes a long way in describing the enthusiasm right now for those vaccines.
Well, I'm glad shots are going in arms in Canada. Paula Newton in Ottawa, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Also